Welcome to this episode of Sailing Frida Wisby.
We are on our way from Calpe in Spain to Port de Torrent in Ibiza. It's 60 nautical miles about, and we think it will take us around 10 hours because it's very light wind. We have a little bit of trouble with our water maker. Our first anchorage at the Balearics.
Let's summarize what's been written in a logbook before.
Our story began in Yarmouth on Isle of Wight, where we bought a Woki 47 pilot saloon. We named her Frida, and Wisby is her home port on Gotland. We are a middle-aged couple that left our business lives to go sailing. We have sailed more than 7,000 nautical miles along the Atlantic coast of Europe, out to the Azores and into the Mediterranean Sea. We will show you our sailing, the boatworks we do, and the destinations we see, experience wildlife, historic sites, and local cultures together with us. We are not sponsored by anyone, so it helps us a lot if you become a subscriber. Thumbs up or a comment makes us really happy. Big thank you to all of you that watch our videos. We are Anders and Gitte, and this is our cat Litza.
The next phase continue in Calpe. Before we can leave the magnificent cliff of Calpe and go out to the Balearics, we have a few things that we need to fix, and one of them is the water maker.
We have a little bit of trouble with our water maker, and Anders has been advised by phone that he should push a button on the back side of the control panel. So that's what he's trying to do.
This one.
Yeah.
Deciding if the water should go to the out or to the tank. And if I push this in and it's able, I should be able to turn it, which I did now. Perfect. Yes, it's in now, so now it's worth trying.
Because our water maker is running, it gives good quality, but the amount it produces is way less than it's supposed to be. So we have been in contact by phone with a specialist, and he said that sometimes it could get stuck where it froze half of the water overside and half of it into the tank, which is more or less the problem we see. So what Anders manually did now is that he pushed it around. So, and that can happen if you haven't used the water maker for some time.
And ours has been standing still for years.
Yeah, we have just started to begin using it.
Check how much water we have in the tank.
I will. A little bit more than quarter. We changed the filter, the pre-filter, yesterday. I'm not used to water makers, so I don't really know if this is the way a dirty filter is supposed to look, but it looks dirty to me. Because there was another possibility, and the water maker got a lot more quiet after that. But then we got this problem instead. It is producing, and it's quite quiet.
Let's hope that fixes the problem and that the production rate will be higher. Next on the to-do list is route planning.
We think we have found a good anchoring spot, so we are making the plan. Of course, we think we will leave tomorrow.
So?
What was it? Port de Torrent or something, the anchorage is called. And the place should be very well protected from
all the way from easterly to westerly winds, but not northerly. And there should not be a lot of Posidonian seagrass. So it looks as a good place. It's quite near San Antonio on Ibiza. So there's also a marina nearby in case you want to go in. The route from Calpe is 60 nautical miles and it will take about 10 hours.
So now we have a plan for how to get to the Balearics.
We are preparing to leave. We are about half an hour late according to our own time plan. We were a bit ambitious and thought we were going to leave at 8. But it's more things to do than you can imagine before you leave. And we couldn't find the marinero. We had to leave a key to him. So that took a bit of time, but now Anders is putting up the swim platform, and I think we are ready to start the motor after this.
We will now show you how we are leaving a mid-mooring. We run the footage in twice the speed, so it will go a little bit faster. Before we even start, we make sure we can release the stern lines from the boat and stow away the passerelle. After warming up the engine a little bit, Gitte cast the lines at the bow and let them sink to the bottom. Then she double checks that the line to the dock is not stuck anywhere on the boat. Then we cast the stern lines and haul them back onto the boat. Now just give the power throttle a short burst to get the boat moving. I try to position myself so I can push up off the neighboring boat if necessary, and sometimes I even carry a fender. I continuously report the distance to the boat on the port side that Anders is difficult to see. Anders is only giving power in short bursts to make the boat move forward very slowly. When we have come out enough so that Anders will start the turn with the bow thruster, I keep an eye on the stern so that we will not pivot into the boat next to us. Now we are free of the boats moored next to us and Anders can drive normally. And at this point I usually try to film a little bit and start taking care of the fenders. So as you can see, leaving from the mid-mooring is quite easy, especially in calm conditions as this. It can be more difficult if you have a strong side wind. We are now almost out of the marina and it's time for us to say bye-bye Calpe, and the next time we will see land it will be Ibiza. Leaving Club Nautico. There is 2 marinas in Calpe. The other one is over there on the other side of the bay. But we didn't have any good reviews, so we haven't even been there. I dressed a little too warm when we went out at the harbor, so I got a bit overheated. But now I'm in t-shirt and shorts, so that's much better. And we come out where fresh air. It's not much wind, so we are still motoring. And supposed to do that for a couple of hours more, and then we hope we can get a light breeze slightly from behind that will be enough to gently sail us all the way to Ibiza. On our port side you can see Cap Negre, which is this point here, so now we go out blue water sailing.
Hörde du foghornet?
I did hear it.
I was down below taking care of the dishes, and because we are running the engine, and I have hot water. And when I came up, it was really foggy, and Anders even used a foghorn. This is the same view as you saw before, just a little while ago. So this fog came in really quickly. When it's dark or foggy, we overlap the radar with the AS on the Raymarine plotter. Object highlighted in green is no problem, but you should keep an eye on the red ones. But in this case, Anders judged that there isn't a problem due to go around very slowly, and we are going to turn starboard soon. And then, just as sudden, it cleared up and the sun came through and the fog disappeared. Still water sailing. Tried to sail for a while, but it was too slow. And we're right where there's as much most traffic, so we wanted to get out of the way. Having the same course as another Swedish boat called Anna. No. And we just turned off the engine and are sailing. Not very fast, but it's nice to rest the ears for a little while. Okay. Anders has still some problems with his back.
Yeah.
Despite the therapist did what he could.
Yeah.
But it's
Otherwise,
not.
I wouldn't have been able to do this at all. And the wind is nice and the sun is out, so we're making water through the water maker and still have enough power from the sun to fill up all our batteries before the sun goes down. So why not make water when we can?
Yeah, we need some water. We have been in Marina in Kalpe where they charged quite a lot of money for water and electricity. So we didn't. But
We were completely independent,
yeah,
filling the tank
yeah.
while sailing. Without generator and without engine.
Which is quite amazing. And as you can see now, I'm down below. Here's the water maker panel. And as you can hear, it's very quiet since we changed the filter. And now it's time for me to make one of my regular logbook entries. So I bring up the view that Anders has prepared with all the data I need. So that was my little logbook notation.
back to the map. It's such a nice calm weather that I decided that I wanted to bake something to the afternoon coffee. Decided that I should have the dry ingredients and some lemon zest. So, have the batter there and get this ready. Well, the result didn't came out exactly as I wanted, but hopefully they taste good anyway. And oh, there's Ibiza. And I believe I can see the sail from Anna, the other Swedish boat. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Can you see Anna?
I can't see her.
Ah.
But I can see the sail, yes.
But according to the AIS, there is no one else. So unless it's somebody without AIS, it has to be her. And the direction is good.
Yeah. Fine nautical mile.
Yeah. I didn't thought that Ibiza was such a high island, mountainous. But it's not the first time Spain has surprised me. I have kind of the image that it's sandy beaches, but pretty much the whole country is mountains. We have not discussed with Anna. It seems like she's choosing the exact same anchorage as we. Bit of a tourist party trap, but this part of the island looks really nice. I can only see 2 miles. I have just measured the distance to shore, and it's 69-70 meters here from the bow, and we got 20 meters of chain out, and we are as close as we will be probably, since the chain is almost stretched after our reverse, so it shouldn't be a problem with that boat either. But I will go. The Dutch boat. It's 55 to 60 meters to that boat, and if we both have 20 meters of chain and the depth is about 5 meters, it will be just a little bit of extra margin, which is perfect. There's Anna. Sunset dinner at Anchor. Really nice. Beautiful. Our first anchorage at the Balearics. So we are anchored in a little bay here on Ibiza. And now we are going to have some salmon salad. Everything is perfect. Can it be more perfect than this? So beautiful. I just want to give you a little feeling of how it is by night. As you can see, we have the front sides of our enclosure on, which gives us a little bit of extra wind protection and also from the moisture in the evening. And my solar lamps give a cozy light. Lisa, what are you doing in the sun? Now you're a shadow. Are you looking at the view? We also think it's scary close to land. So close, but yet so far away. She hates the water. Both Anders and I agree that this is a bit scary close to the shore, but we have measured with the distance with this thing, which is the same as hunters and golfers use. We also measured the depth with this device, which you can hold in a hand and point into the water. Okay, so this is the distance measuring device. So I point it in the direction where I want to measure the cliff over there and push the button once, let it go, and then one more time. 46 meters. So it's 46 meters to the cliff. And now I'm going to verify the depth. So this one. And just point it down into the water with the tip a little bit into the water. And push that button, and then it says 4.9. So quick way to verify with two small devices, which wasn't that expensive if I remember it correctly. The
Gitte distance laser is around 2,000 Swedish kronor, so it's around 200 euros.
Plastimo EcoTest 2. And this is going to Google. And what was the result for the Woo! Next time you will be flying.
The depth sounder, handheld depth sounder, is also around 200 euros.
Yeah. So
they're not super expensive.
Not super expensive, but maybe not super cheap either. But at least for me, I feel quite a lot safer, especially with this one. When we are anchoring, that I can measure the distance to boats around, because my estimation is terrible. I always think they are much closer than they actually are. If you ask me, I would say it's 20 meters to shore and not 46. And I kind of have the same margin. We had a boat anchored next to us and I thought it was really close. It turned out that it was 150 meters away. So it makes me a bit more relaxed and give a bit of peace of mind to know that they are not so close that I visually think. And this is the first time we actually used this depth sounder in a real situation. Otherwise we have mostly used it just to play around, but being on anchor, it's quite a difference to know what the depth is where you put your anchor and where your stern is. So this is the first time we measured at the stern to be sure that we were nowhere near hitting the bottom. Remember, thumbs up always makes us happy, and don't forget to subscribe if you want to follow our journey. It's still April, but the water is clear and fresh here at Litza. It's 18.5 degrees, so I won't stay in for half an hour, but it's lovely. It's easy to get a little bit distracted when I'm sitting here and making the subtitles for the next video. We decided to use our air buddy. It's more or less the same as a hookah. that allows you to breathe the compressed air from the surface. So far everything was good. But not for long, because I didn't get any air. We tried to find out what was the problem, testing different ideas, and meanwhile the air body was still floating in the water. Anders also tried to breathe, but it was extremely heavy to suck just through a little air. I could do it, but it was really hard and not something I would trust.
Ja, den trycker ju inte på i luften precis.
Nej, det gör den inte.
Den var ju tvinga i på luften.
Ja, man får suga in den som när man
Ja, det funkar inte att det ska.
Okay.
Där ska det inte vara. Det ska...
We knew something was very wrong, but still didn't understand what it was. But then suddenly I noticed that there was water in the hoses. We realized that we now needed to turn it off quite quickly, but I didn't know how.
Det är så man stänger av den. Här verkar ju... Är det luftvatten i slangarna? Det är det.
At this point, Anders finally realized that he had forgot to connect one hose. So salt water had been seeping in to the compressor all this time. We tried to save the air body by rinsing it in fresh water, but too much water had got inside. After all that drama, I was a bit stressed and also warm after sitting in the sun with my wetsuit on. So I went for a snorkeling tour. It was relaxing to sink down into the cool water and peek into the underwater world. We had planned to use the air body to be able to stay under while cleaning the hull. With only a snorkel it is very difficult. That will obviously not happen until we fix it, but I will just check how it looks. I decided I also wanted to check how the anchor was sitting. There it is, and you can see our rockner is well dug into the sand. Then I turned back to get a closer look at the hull and the prop. All fine with the bow thruster, not much in here. But it looks like Frida could use a good scrape. But the prop doesn't look too bad. Okay, let's go up and have some dinner. Anders is still recovering his back, despite we had a very calm and comfortable passage over here.
Do I have to comment on this? Isn't this just fantastic? And today I've been out snorkeling, and there's quite close to the shore there is a huge Posidonia with plenty of fish.
The next day I decided to go snorkeling once more. I am so grateful for moments like this. When I started things to do around on Ibiza, I actually discovered that there's quite a few snorkeling and dive spots around the island. Here you can see the seagrass Posidonia, and also that there's a lot of fish around it and in it. It's the baby changer of the fish of the Mediterranean. This is the underwater cliff rock or cliff wall that we were a bit concerned about. But after re-anchoring we are quite far away from it. So let's continue with the snorkeling and enjoy the underwater world for a little while. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Sailing Frida Wisby. In the next episode, we will continue to explore the Balearic Islands.